I want to help you stop wasting time here today. So we're going to learn how ChatGPT can help your team save 5+ hours a week. All right. And that's what we're going to dive into today. If you don't know me, my name's Eric Anderton. I've been helping construction companies build people and profit since 2004. Over 2 decades of working with the leaders of construction companies. As I go through the process here today, if anything is unclear, it's not your fault, it's mine. You can ask a question. I may not be able to get to all of the questions, but you can ask one. You can always send me an email. Okay, you guys have my email. If you're here, you have my email. My email is eric@constructiongenius.com. Anytime you want to email me with questions about what we're talking about here today, you are welcome to email me. All right. So I'm here to help you in any way that I can. These are some of the companies that I've worked with, from contractors that are 5 million, 10 million in revenue, all the way to contractors that are $3 billion plus in revenue. And I'd like to start off with a quote from Andy Jassy. He is the CEO of Amazon. We know that the former CEO of Amazon is busy in Italy getting married, but Andy is still running it. And he says, we're restructuring our company around AI. Technologies like generative AI come about once in a lifetime. So think about the printing press, the steam engine, electricity, the internet. According to Andy, generative AI is like that. Okay, and so that's why it's great for you to be here on the webinar today. And you're going to learn how ChatGPT can save your team 5+ hours a week. And here are 3 things that we're going to cover today: revenue killers and margin crushers, the ChatGPT solution framework, and then a practical implementation strategy for ChatGPT in your business. And again, we're going to make it very, very practical here. And just to dive in a little bit more here, the Magnificent Seven, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla, Meta, NVIDIA, they are all in on AI. But it's not just the tech bros, it's the United States government, okay? This is the biggest transformation that we've gone through since the internet. And in July 2025, the Trump administration released America's AI Action Plan. And I want you to hear what it says about workers and AI. This is a quote: AI will transform how work gets done across all industries and occupations, demanding a serious workforce response to help workers navigate that transition. So think about that. The government is saying AI will transform all industries. Construction is not exempt. This isn't optional anymore. But here's what I love about this document. It talks about worker-first AI agenda. The goal isn't to replace workers, it's to create more pathways to economic opportunity. And the administration has already issued executive orders on AI education and preparing Americans for skilled trade jobs of the future. They're taking this tremendously seriously. And so, when you're thinking about whether AI is relevant to your company, remember this: Amazon is restructuring around it. The world's most valuable companies are all in on it. And now it's official US government policy. The question isn't whether this transformation is coming to construction. The question is, are you going to lead it or get left behind by it? Now, if you're a CEO on this call, your responsibility is to understand this technology and position your company to benefit from it. And that's exactly what we're going to show you how to do today. Chat into the box here for me, please. What's one AI shift you're seeing in construction? Please let me know. What's one AI shift you're seeing in construction? Please chat that into the box for me. Rose Emily, survey. Lillian, estimating bid review. Great. Casey, estimating. Call-in contract review. Yes, Rob, help with policy writing. I do all day, Rob. Document review, contract, HR policy, safety, site inspection, project management, contract review, pulling up technical data rather than manually looking it up. That's great. Dude, specs review, rebar estimating, risk, letters. All right, guys, you are right there. This is beautiful. Cost control, awesome, awesome. So we've got a tremendous amount of applications, potential applications that we can use here with AI. So you want to learn how to apply AI in ways that drive profitability. So let's talk about revenue killers and margin crushers. So let me tell you about Sad Dave. Sad Dave is an interesting guy. Sharp, experienced project manager, but a bit of a bottleneck in his business. And the issue was knowledge transfer. He was trying to train a junior PM on reviewing a subcontractor change order, but he's too slammed to do it. And his frustration is it would take me 2 hours to show the kid how to do this. I can do it myself in 20 minutes. And it's a process that involves the computer. And so I began to show him a way that he doesn't need to be that bottleneck. And I told him, listen, you don't need 2 hours, but what you do need is about 15 minutes. So let me tell you how we work through this. The first thing we did is I showed Dave how to download onto his desktop a screen recorder. So for instance, a screen recorder like Loom, all right? You can download it onto your desktop and you can actually record your screen and record yourself doing something on the screen. And so I had him do that. We walked through that and he just walked through how he was doing the change order. And then what we did is we got a transcription of that. The thing about Loom is it will provide you a transcript. Now, if you've got a transcript of anything, you're golden because you can then start to use ChatGPT in a powerful way. You take the recorded transcript, you put the transcript into ChatGPT, you ask it to create an SOP for you based on the transcript, and boom, you have a video recording of yourself doing the process, plus a nice, clear SOP. You can communicate that to the person that you're working with, and you can cut radically down on the amount of time it takes to teach someone else to do a task. Now, do me a favor. Chat into the box for me whether or not this makes sense. If it does, just say yes. Okay, great. I'm getting some yeses here. I'm getting thumbs up. This is great. This is just simple stuff that you can do today. So if you're thinking about a delegation and you're frustrated, if you're sad, Dave, all you need to do is just take some time recording yourself doing it step by step, take the transcript, put it into ChatGPT and create an SOP. When I kind of saw that work, and this was a few months ago, that really, really helped me, and it also helped Dave. And so this is the insight. He had a real problem, and he saw AI's true power, scaling expertise across the team. Okay, now, every company does work in the field and in the office. And we know that without the field putting work in place, we don't make money. But let me ask you a question here, and I want your response. What drives more of your competitive advantage? Having skilled field crews who execute well, or having better systems for estimating costs, planning projects, and communicating with clients? Field work, 70% of your hours, but according to one expert, it's 30% of your competitive advantage. Office work is 30% of your hours, but 70% of your competitive advantage. And let me explain a little bit about what I mean by that. All things being equal technically, you can really gain that competitive advantage through things like estimating, planning, scheduling, and continuous improvement. And that is exactly where AI excels. Okay, now let's think about the revenue killers. You've got bid accuracy. Poor proposals lose work or kill margins. You've got information gaps. Market intelligence takes too long to gather. You've got customer service delays. Slow responses damage relationships. You've got change order problems, okay? Miscommunication creates disputes. And then let's talk about your margin crushers. You've got administration overhead. Listen, 30 to 40% of office time is spent on tasks that don't build anything. You've got knowledge transfer issues. Remember Sad Dave? You've got specialization problems, such as only Fred can do the concrete estimates. So what happens when Fred's out? You have poor communication issues that affect quality and rework. You've got cash flow delays. And what AI is all about, it's all about reskilling the workforce. So the future belongs to people who can work with AI, not against it. And if you look at the things that I've shared so far, what's one area, just type in one area for me, that you would like to use AI to begin to experiment with it to see if you can get some efficiencies. Estimating communication, SOPs, training, bidding, pre-con, takeoff. Yeah, so we're very much focused here on using it in practical ways, and that's what I like. Listen, AI is some robot is not walking into your room anytime soon and sort of throwing you out of your chair and sitting down and doing everything for you. This is a companion. This is a tool, okay? Just like new tools are introduced all the time. We don't build construction projects the same way that we did 150 years ago. Because we have new tools, but people are still building projects. AI is not going to completely replace people. It's going to enhance the best of us to really, really be able to perform at a higher level. Okay, and this is really critical. And so we want to talk about the ChatGPT solution framework. And I'm just going to dive into some very simple demos here to kind of give you an idea of how ChatGPT can be used in your daily work. Okay, so think about death by 1,000 tasks, proposals, RFIs, meeting notes, market research, reports. Okay, all of us have this going on each day. And so what you want to do is you want to start small with ChatGPT or with any kind of AI and build confidence. And so that's what I want to advocate for you today is a simple approach. Leaders must provide confidence when facing uncertainty. So you want to begin with low-risk experiments that have high learning potential. You want to balance human intellect versus AI assistance. So you have to learn when to trust AI and when to override it. As AI handles more routine work, human judgment and relationships become more valuable, not less valuable. Okay. So let's dive into real prompts, real results. I was chatting with a young construction professional the other day. It's actually my son. He's working with Tykert at the moment. He's doing an internship with them in the estimating department. Prior to that, he was working with another company where he was responding to RFIs. And I asked him, how much time do you save when you use ChatGPT to write an RFI? And he didn't hesitate. He said 10 minutes minimum. And you know, and I know people writing hundreds of RFIs. Let me just ask you real quick. I'll ask the chat. Let me just ask, how much time do you spend? How much time do you spend like on RFIs every day, would you say? If you're doing an RFI, chat into the box to me how much time you spend doing it right now. Give me an idea of where you're at with RFIs. John, 30 minutes and it's fun. Nice. Erwin, 25 minutes. All right, 30 minutes. Jeff, too long. Now, let's take a look at an example now. So I'm going to pull up my ChatGPT interface. Now, what you see here is I have a project in ChatGPT, and this is key. I have the Teams version of ChatGPT, not the free one. Okay? Now listen, if you're serious about this stuff, let me just say this. As a company, from a company perspective, if you're serious about getting to know ChatGPT and getting comfortable with it and AI in general, so I have a project in ChatGPT. Very, very simple. Okay. So the thing about a project, let me show you this real quick. You'll notice here I have some simple instructions in the project that are going to drive the answers that ChatGPT gives me based on my prompts. Now, these instructions are in addition to any specific prompt that I put in. I'm going to save this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in here a prompt. Okay. And you can see it here. Help me write an RFI from a mechanical contractor to the general contractor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click the button right here and see what it produces for me. Okay. So we'll go back over here and you see the RFI number. You can insert all of these things in here. Here's the question. Here's the impact. Here's the requested action. Here's the requested response date. Okay. Now, obviously, you look at this for correctness and for the details. You can put in additional prompts if you want to add or take out information. But the point is, you put a little bit of information. You give the engine context. Now, context is critical. Who, what, where, why, when, so what. And if you're using the higher versions of ChatGPT, like I was saying, you can go into the projects, right? Again, like we have this RFI, and you can put context in there. You can also add files. So if you're working with one particular construction project, you can add files. If you're worried about confidentiality, the higher versions of ChatGPT give you the same amount of confidentiality as Microsoft or Google would with your email. And so you can use it very effectively for generating a simple RFI. All right, now we're going to dive into another one here. And this is meeting summaries. Now, this is a critical one. And this is one where you could save a bunch of time here. You're running a weekly coordination meeting. The owner's rep is on the call. The subs are present, right? You've got a superintendent in the room, your field engineers dialing in. Classic construction coordination meeting. And like many of us, you're running the meeting, but you also need a record of what was discussed, what was decided, who's on the hook for what. and you could take notes by hand while trying to facilitate, or you could do this. Let me show you the AI approach. So what you do is you use your phone's voice memo app or another recording tool to record the meeting. Everyone in the room knows they're being recorded. That's important for compliance. After the meeting, you upload the audio into a transcription tool like Otter.ai, Rev, or Descript. They work good as well. You end up with a raw transcript. It's messy, it's full of the ums and the crosstalk, but it captures everything. And this transcript becomes your raw material. You're concerned about your data, and I've already addressed this, and I want to address it again. It's a valid concern. If you get the regular ChatGPT, the free version, they're going to take your data and they're going to use it to train the model. But if you buy the ChatGPT version, like the team version or the pro version, they don't store your conversations. They don't use your data for training. You can use real names, real project details, real sensitive information, and it's the same privacy level as Gmail for Business or Office 365. The team version is $25 a month. The enterprise version is $60 a month. I'm assuming that if you're on this webinar, you've got that kind of cash. I know that's big bucks, but you got to spend that money if you're going to be able to use the tools right. Okay, now let's dive into this idea of garbage in and garbage out. If you have a recorded transcript of a meeting, give me an idea of what your opinion is of the quality of that information. Is that the quality of the information high or low? If you have a recorded transcript of the meeting, chat into the box for me. Okay, so recorded transcript. So what you do now if you've just got a transcript, it's just rough and it's not really useful, okay? But let's walk through again how you can make it useful. So let's say you have a project. We're making one up here. It's Pacific Labs in downtown San Diego. You put all the details in here, weekly coordination meeting, and then you're giving the engine a role. You're my construction project meeting assistant. You support the GC team by summarizing weekly transcripts involving the GC owners, reps, subs, and field team. You give it some project context right here, lab fit out with critical clean room areas, coordination across trades and schedules. When I paste the transcript and say go, summarize the meeting in 3 parts. So you're giving all the information. You're giving a really good, rich prompt here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in here a transcript. This is the transcript that was recorded from the meeting. And I'm going to include that right there. And then I'm going to go. And here we go. So I put in the parameters, the context, and here we have the key topics discussed, right? Schedule and delays, coordination across trades, site access and logistics, general updates, decisions made. Bobby, it figures out names by you telling them the names. You may need to edit the transcript. Action items and table. Okay, so you got the action items right here. See the task, assigned to, due date, blockers, and notes. All right. Lillian's in love. I'm in love as well, Lillian. It's really awesome. See this? See what's generated here from using the transcript? You give the right context, you give it the raw transcript, and of course, it gives you a response. Now, you can ask it questions based on this. You can check for details. You can check for any misses that might have, okay? You can customize it specifically for your requirements and for that particular project. And so there's customization that you can use here. So let's talk about numbers on this specific application. If your average time to write professional meeting notes is 2.5 hours, if your AI assisted time is 10 minutes, then you've saved 2.3 hours. At $75 an hour for a PM, that's $172 value per meeting. If you have 2 coordination meetings per week, $17,000 on an annual basis from one simple AI application. But the real value is this: better project communication and fewer misunderstandings. And when everyone has a clear, accurate meeting records, projects run smoother. So let me ask you, what other meetings could you use a process like this for? Board meetings. Thank you, Lillian. Progress meetings, pre-cons, sales. Dude, there's just so many different things that you can use this for. It's so tremendously powerful and simple to use if you use it right. This is really, really great. I'm so glad that you guys see this. I'm so glad that you have an understanding of this. We're going to go on to the last demo here, and we're doing really well on time. So this is tremendous. Do you do post-mortems on completed projects? Give me some feedback there. Some people are starting. Some people don't do them. Some people do them all the time. Okay. Yeah, and Bart, and on lost opportunities. That's a nice touch right there. You're going to find this applicable for that as well, Bart. So what's interesting, what postmortems do, obviously, is you kind of get an idea of what's happened and you're hoping to learn. But I'd like you to shift your thinking to sort of a pre-mortem, a pre-mortem. And what you can do is you can use your postmortems as fuel for your pre-mortems. And it's a simple shift that transforms painful experience into competitive advantage. And every painful project you've done is free consulting for your next one. Most construction companies repeat the same mistakes because they don't systematically learn from failures. And AI can change that completely. So let me show you how. Let's just say we finished a hospital project and you're doing a post-mortem on the hospital project. Change orders blew up, a sub ghosted midway through, the owner delayed approvals on a finish, right? Whatever the case may be, there's always issues. So if you think about the last project that you built where there were some serious issues, just chat into the box. One thing, you can make it anonymous to save the guilty. Scheduling, site documentation, design team, yeah, poor drawing quality, contract versus plan, cash flow. Okay, good. So there's a ton of different issues here, ton of different issues. All right, so now let me walk you through this one. This is pretty cool, dude. This is pretty cool. All right, so here we are. Look at my instructions here. Say you're a senior executive at a commercial construction firm preparing to bid a new ground-up 4-story medical office. The delivery method is design, bid, build. You've seen how healthcare projects go sideways, blown schedules, owner indecision, sub-failures, drawing coordination issues. Your goal is to avoid margin erosion and schedule busts before they happen. I pre-build my prompts for demo purposes, right? So this is another thing you want to do. You want to get a prompt library going, and you can customize them for your particular needs, your particular issues. And that's one of the keys to using this technology well, is the prompt library. Okay, but now I've got this pre-mortem folder. Okay, you could customize it for a particular project that you're on. You can add a ton of files into there. You can do all kinds of stuff. Okay, and then I'm going to go paste, and I've got my prompt in there. Okay. And the prompt is all about what's going on. See, change orders exploded from 3% to 12%. The framing sub abandoned the job. The owner delayed finished approvals. This is what happened on the last project. We're facing a similar project now. We want to do a pre-mortem, and I'm going to hit go here, and then let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so you got a pre-mortem checklist tailored for a ground-up 4-story medical office building. All right. Early warning signs in bidding and pre-con. Okay. And now again, always remember, garbage in and garbage out. Always remember, ChatGPT is a companion. It's not the last word. These are not stone tablets. This is not Moses coming off the mount saying, "Thus saith the Lord," right? This is stuff that you can look at, and as a professional with taste and experience and intuition, it can help you to really use the information that you get and to tweak it and to ask other prompts of it to get better information. So here's some questions to ask to the owner, the architect, and the internal team. Here's some risk mitigation strategies that we've come up with. Here's some red flags to revise, bid, or pause. Here's some options to escalate. Here's some next steps. And then it asks you here, let me know if you want to rank these risks by severity and likelihood. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to just copy and paste this, put another little prompt in here, rank these risks by severity and likelihood. Ooh, look at this, man. Now we get a risk description, severity, likelihood, and notes. Okay, so give me a thumbs up or chat a yes in. Is this something that you could see yourself using to one degree or another? Is this useful? Is this helpful? Okay, awesome. Tremendous feedback here. This is great. Okay, so my point is this. There's multiple practical applications that you can begin to use for ChatGPT in your business. What have you learned? What have you noticed? What are you going to do differently here, just based on what we've done so far? Yeah, create prompts. Yeah, I built systems. See, this is the thing, Jason. You're building systems. There you go. You guys know about that. Research and learn the best ways. Build prompt library. Not so scary. Project with instructions. Yes. Use transcripts as input. Okay, good. This is beautiful, guys. Prompt library. Timothy, Rob. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now, you want to stop repeating the same mistakes. You want to build institutional risk intelligence. This is what you're looking to do. Okay? And now think about your competitors. Here's your competitive advantage. While your competitors are repeating the same margin-killing mistakes, you're building systematic wisdom that travels with every estimate. Each painful project becomes institutional knowledge instead of just expensive experience. Your pre-con meetings become strategic sessions instead of just scheduled reviews. Risk assessment becomes data-driven instead of gut feeling. And over time, you develop pattern recognition that your competitors simply don't have. You become a learning organization. And let me say this. This is how mid-sized contractors compete with the big boys, right? Superior risk intelligence. All right. So keep in mind here, what's most useful to you? I know you've given me feedback so far. Let's dive into a practical now implementation strategy. We talked about revenue killers and margin crushers. We gave you an idea of how to use ChatGPT. And now let's talk about a practical implementation strategy. Week one, you want to build the confidence of your leadership. CEOs and owners, I hope you know this. You've got to get ChatGPT Plus at a minimum for $20 a month. Don't delegate this to your tech person. This is a great exercise for you. I know you all have conference rooms and you've got the big screen on there, right? Get in there, get the internet up there, pull up ChatGPT on your TV, input a real company problem, and start prompting it as a team. Use your language, use your experience. One of the things that I do when I'm using ChatGPT is I use my microphone and I just start dictating into ChatGPT. How many of you have dictated into ChatGPT the prompts and the information? Yeah, see, that's what I'd be doing. Daniel, Christina, you're right on. Okay, Brad, you got to use dictation because as you speak naturally, the engine gets to know you a little bit and it's tremendously powerful. I love using the dictation and it's very, very efficient. Okay. All right. So you get the leadership confidence building. You practice prompting with non-sensitive scenarios. You scenario out real construction challenges. If it gives you a BS answer, tell it that's BS. Ask ChatGPT to play the contrarian, give you alternatives. That's what you want to begin to do. All right, week 2 to 4, strategic experimentation. You've got to get some AI curious champions. You don't need old school people with no interest. Find people who are interested and double down. Again, keep working with those low risk applications, meeting summaries, market research, training scenarios. Turn over all the stones in bidding work, building work, getting paid. How can AI improve each one? And then learn to develop your judgment. Learn to recognize good versus poor AI output and work on your quality prompting skills. Then phase 3, month 2 plus, is your competitive advantage building. All right, so you want to get some generalists who are able to work across multiple functions. You want to use AI for strategic planning sessions and team communication templates. You want to use AI to be more responsive and thoughtful. Okay, let me give you a very practical one. If you suck at having difficult conversations, dictate into ChatGPT the scenario of the difficult conversation and ask it for feedback on how to prepare for the conversation. Has anyone used ChatGPT to do something like that? Let me get your feedback there. Okay, all the time. I got an all the time. That's great. Yeah, so if you haven't, try it. Again, just get a feel of it. See how it works, right? Get some advice from it. Again, remember, it's not God. It's just something giving you feedback. And it is a game changer in my opinion. And this is the thing to remember. Humans are the conductors. AI is the orchestra. Expertise, taste, intuition, that's essential. If you get the higher versions of ChatGPT, if you pay for them, you have the same kind of security as you do with your email applications like Microsoft and Google. Garbage in, garbage out. I know that's an issue as well. So the quality of the information you put in and the context that you give it very much drives the quality of the response that you get. But you may still get hallucinations. You may always need to check your information. It's tremendously important that you do it. And then you've got to bring along people in your organization. I promise you this, guys. This is not going anywhere. We are just at the beginning of this, and it's going to be something that impacts your business for the next 30, 40 years. And so old dogs who are not willing for new tricks, you've got to just say, hey, fellas, you got to get on board with this, okay? It's really, really important that people have the right perspective. Okay, so if you saved, let's say, 5 hours a week per person, what's the ROI for you in terms of dollars? Lily, see, that's great. $5,000. That's awesome. One person. I wonder how much that costs, John. $2,000. Yep. Bobby, yeah, almost $20,000. Okay, we're talking significant ROI, and I think that's only going to increase as it gets better. On a scale of 1 to 10, How committed are you to mastering AI tools for your construction business? I got some 10s, 9s, 10s, 8s. Good. 8, 10, 7, 9.5. I got an 11. Yeah, more cowbell. Let's turn it up to 11. Yeah, Christina, you don't know. Yeah, I know. Hey, Christina, listen, right on, dude. You don't know what you don't know. That's why I encourage you. You got to work with this stuff. Get to know it a little bit. Put your toe in the water. See where you're comfortable. Okay. Yep. AI is fast, but it's not as smart as a human. I agree with that. Your intuition, your experience is priceless. And you should bring that to the table every single time you work with ChatGPT or any of these AI models. Okay, so Andy Jassy's really clear here. We're restructuring our company around AI, so you've got to start using it. So today, sign up for ChatGPT Plus, try one business application, test with real work problems, share the results with your team, train key team members, and implement in one department. Okay, so now if you're convinced that AI matters, but you need guided experience to go from, hey, this is kind of a cool webinar, to daily competitive advantage. Most construction leaders try ChatGPT a few times, they get mediocre results and they give up. It's not because AI doesn't work, it's because prompting is a skill that requires practice and construction-specific guidance. And that's why I'm launching a 4-week intensive course, ChatGPT Mastery for construction leaders. It's limited to 10 companies and 3 people from each company. This is my first cohort, so this is a pilot program. And let me give you an overview of what that's involved. Session 1 is your foundations, getting your team ready to win with AI, where you master the fundamentals of effective prompting, you build leadership confidence to guide AI adoption, and you establish company-wide AI guidelines and safety protocols. Session 2 is bid and plan applications, using AI for comprehensive market research and competitive intelligence, enhancing proposal quality and win rates through AI-assisted review, and then implementing those pre-mortem project analysis to prevent costly mistakes. Session 3 is going to be eliminating friction between the field and the office. And so we're going to learn how to master RFI responses that build relationships and prevent confusion, automate meeting documentation for consistent follow-through, and create clear, actionable communication that reduces rework. And then session 4 is going to be accelerating cash flow and building organizational intelligence. And we're going to learn how to streamline billing and payment collection processes, scale capabilities of AI across the entire organization, and build long-term competitive advantage through captured knowledge. All right. So regular price based on my consulting fees for this would be $25,000 plus. The founding cohort price is $44,997. I've never done this training with anyone before. So this is something where I'm going to bring my experience and knowledge using ChatGPT for the past 18 to 24 months, my 20 plus years of experience working with construction companies. And together we're going to go on a journey of making ChatGPT a reality for your business as far as using it to make money and save money and time. I'm going to offer a 100% money back guarantee. You can go through the whole course, and if you don't get the value that you've invested in it, I'll happily give you your money back, and I'll give you lifetime ongoing support via email for your AI journey questions. But I'm not selling anything today. This is an application process. I'm looking for 10 construction companies ready to pioneer AI adoption in our industry. If I don't get enough qualified applicants, I'm not going to run the course. That's how important this is. Now, the deadline for the applications is Thursday, August 7th. The course is going to begin September 9th. Each session is going to be about 2 hours. And we get 3 people from each company. So we're going to have a maximum of 30 people. We're all going to be together. We're all going to be learning together. I'm going to share all the knowledge that I have. I'm going to be learning from you. You're going to be learning from me. It's going to be tremendous. We're going to learn from each other. I'm going to make sure that there's no competitors in the cohort together. Okay. So if that's a concern of yours, there's not going to be any competitors. So that's one way I'm going to filter it out. Again, this is the first cohort. This is a wave that's coming, friends. And so I'm going to be riding this with my clients for years to come now. And so there will be other cohorts. But if you want to get in on the leading edge of this, and if you want to get in that discounted price of $49.97, I promise you that won't be the price going forward. I'm just doing this to cover my costs and cover my time and provide you with a tremendous amount of value. If you do participate in this initial cohort, in exchange for the discount, I'm going to want your feedback. So I'm going to get your feedback after the course. I'm going to ask you what worked, what didn't work, all those kinds of things. Okay. So if you want to apply for the cohort, please click that link. All right, friends, I'm going to bounce. Appreciate your time and have a great week. Thanks very much.